योऽन्तः प्रविश्य मम वाचमिमां प्रसुप्तान् सञ्जीवयत किल शक्तिधरा स्वधाम्ना अन्यांशः स्वचरणश्रवणत्वगादीन् प्राणान् नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यम्। कथाञ्चना स्मृते यस्मिन् दुष्करं सुकरं भवेत् विस्मृते विपरीतं स्यात् श्रीचैतन्यानमान्तम्। Hare Krishna. Welcome to the weekly Bhagavatam class. We are in prayers of Inkuti, chapter 8 of the first canto, and we have covered the first three verses. The first verse, anybody has memorized? In the last 1, 2, 3 weeks, you memorized? Good. Can you chant the first verse? We'll all repeat. You can chant one line by line. Yes. Kunti uvacha Namaste Purusham Padyam Ishvaram Prakrite Param Alaksham Sarva Bhutanam Antarbhari Avasthitam. Thank you. Second verse, anybody would like to read? No, you already memorized before this. Anybody during the last 3 weeks memorized? Nobody? Okay, you only chant the second verse. The third verse you can chant. Nobody else is. Yes, you can read the second verse. Maya Javanika Channam Ajnadokshajam Avyayam Nalakshate Mudadrisha Nato Natya Dharurya. Last time we discussed the third verse. You can lead the chanting. Tata Paramahansana Munina Mamalatmana Bhakti Yoga Vidanatam Katam Pashye Magistriya. These are the three verses we chanted. The last verse, Tata Paramahamsana. Who would like to read the translation? Yadi Prabhu would like to read? We can't. Okay, you can read the translation.
You yourself descend to propagate the transcendental science of devotional service into the hearts of the advanced transcendentalists and mental speculators who are purified by being able to discriminate between matter and spirit. How then can we women know you perfectly?
So she is now glorifying the Lord and explaining about her own disqualification. So last time we discussed how when there is emotions are overwhelming, a person may appear to be saying statements contradictory to scriptures. Because scriptures say for spiritual subject matters, there is no gender discrimination. Everybody is equal. But she is thinking, I'm insignificant, I'm less intelligent because I'm a woman. So like that, she is saying, I cannot understand you. Although she has understood Krishna perfect. It is what she has done in her prayers. Kunti Devi is following. See, generally when we are offering prayers to Krishna, many devotees, we do the mistake of directly asking the Lord for gifts. But the more satisfying prayers happen when we ask in the end or echo. Along with asking, we should also be able to praise the Lord. We should also be able to thank the Lord and also beg forgiveness. So in one sense, in this verse, Kunti is basically seeking forgiveness. I'm a less intelligent person. I don't understand you. So that mood should always be there. If in our prayers we thank the Lord, we praise the Lord, we seek forgiveness, then we can also request the Lord. Only requesting means we are doing business dealing. The sincere devotee will request, but he will also praise Krishna. I think in one of the classes here we discussed in detail about how praise can be made in first person. Rather than describing Krishna is the wonderful performer of so many activities, we can say how we can speak this to Krishna rather than about Krishna. So when you stand in front of the Lord, you can glorify the Lord. So you will see in the next two prayers, text number 21 and 22, Kunti Devi is following this etiquette of praising Krishna in her prayers. how Krishna is wonderful. Just like in this world also, when you praise someone, that person becomes happy. You feel valued. So in the pure spiritual sense, when somebody genuinely appreciates Krishna, Krishna becomes pleased. So how does she praise Krishna? Text number 21 reveals. Please repeat. Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nandagopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namah.
Let me therefore offer my respectful obeisance unto the Lord, who has become the son of Vasudeva, the pleasure of Devaki, the boy of Nanda, and the other cowherd men of Vrindavan, and the enlivener of the cows and the senses.
So she is glorifying Krishna. Krishna, you are the son of Vasudeva. You are the son of Devaki, Devaki Nandanaya. And you are giving pleasure to all the Gopas in Vrindavan. And you are Govinda, you give pleasure to the senses and the cows. Many times when devotees read Bhagavatam, they directly jump to pastimes. And prayers, they skip or they read it very fast, thinking that it is either boring or monotonous. Thoda volume ज़्यादा पड़ा है तो echo आता है. Reduce, no? Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Thank you. So what happens? Where was I? Yeah, we generally skip the prayers because we find the prayers either monotonous or boring because we want action. So we read stories or pastimes. But prayers are the most important section in the Bhagavatam. The whole objective of Bhagavatam is to help us remember Krishna, especially at the time of death. And the practice we do of remembering Krishna at the time of when we are alive and when we are healthy, that will help us remember Krishna. That is a practice we do. Life is a preparation, that is an examination. Srila Prabhupada wanted us to memorize these prayers, Brahma Samhita, Kunti, Gajendra prayers. Because inadvertently, the prayers will come flashing in the conscious mind if we practice it. Like I remember some years ago, one day morning I got up and suddenly I don't know how one Bollywood song was flashing in my mind, which I was saying, what is this song? Now I don't remember that song, but every 3 seconds the song was coming. I was like, kahan se aa raha? Then I said, wait, let me do some regression. Ye gana kaun sa hai? I kept thinking and I realized this is a song of some movie in 1985. And I had not heard that song anywhere. Did I hear it while going in taxi somewhere? Nowhere. I don't know. Something which I had heard when I was in 8th standard or 9th standard, it came flashing back. So when whatever impressions we take in, it doesn't go away. It's there somewhere. So if we memorize verses, and especially those verses that glorify Krishna, when we're in distress, we will be able to spontaneously glorify Krishna by chanting these prayers. Even if you don't have emotions, but the fact that we're chanting these prayers, Krishna will take it as glorification. So therefore, this is very important to glorify Krishna. Although generally, what happens if somebody glorifies you or somebody glorifies me, we don't fall asleep. When glorifying Krishna, we fall asleep. So that is a diseased condition. Therefore, when we fall asleep, what we do is we stand up in the class. And in the temple morning, if you come, you will see some of the devotees, the class is going on. If they feel sleepy, they get up and they stand. So we sometimes put water in our eyes because it is a sadhaka stage, practice stage. We don't have that spontaneous attraction to glorify Krishna. So this is a sadhana. Sadhana means practice. You have to practice to glorify Krishna so that eventually it becomes a natural thing for us. It becomes a habit. Initially, it may be difficult. So what you can try is what I spoke once earlier. Try glorifying Krishna in the first person. Instead of reading this translation as, "Oh Krishna, let me offer respectful obeisances to the Lord, who has become the son of Vasudeva, the pleasure of Devaki, who is the boy of Nanda." Instead of that, we can come in front of the Lord and offer a prayer saying that, "Let me therefore offer my respectful obeisances unto you, O Krishna." You're reading the translation? It says unto the Lord. Instead of that, you could say, "Unto you, O Krishna, who has become the son of Vasudeva, the pleasure of Devaki, You have become the boy of Nanda and the other forward man of Vrindavan, and you are enlivening the cow and the senses. So here what is happening is you are talking to Krishna you are offering prayers in the first person. Then there is a chance that this will become personal. Otherwise it will become dry. So therefore praise is the most important element of prayer. That is like the icebreaker. We can then approach Krishna's face. So then the next glorification is very sweet. The next verse, which and that's also. Namo Pankajanaabhaya. Namo Pankaja Maline. Namo Pankaja Netraya. Namaste Pankajangre.
My respectful obeisance are unto you, O Lord, whose abdomen is covered with depression like a lotus flower, who are always decorated with garlands of lotus flowers, whose glance is as cool as a lotus, and whose feet are engraved with lotuses.
So Krishna's beauty is compared with lotus. Now, Krishna is not as beautiful as the lotus. Krishna is more beautiful than the lotus, but in this material world, in the poetic description, lotus is considered as very most serene, soothing flower and most beautiful flower. So Krishna's beauty is compared to lotus. That doesn't mean Krishna's beauty is restricted to lotus. We have no idea of Krishna's beauty. But so that we can get some idea, this example is given. Are you clear? Don't think Krishna is as beautiful as moon when it is said Krishna Chandra. What happened? Remote. Or? I think by the time we settle everything in this room, it will be 8:45. And it will be time to end the class. Tolerate कर लेते हैं. घर में tolerate करते हैं कभी-कभी AC tolerate. So, where was I again? Lotus. Yeah. So Krishna's beauty. Krishna is compared with moon. Krishna Chandra. We should not think that, oh, Krishna is only as beautiful as the moon. He is much, much more beautiful. But in this world, whatever beautiful is there, Krishna is compared to that. Is that clear? Like, when we actually advance and we actually get to see Krishna face to face. Or let's say we actually go back to spiritual life after death. And there we will see Krishna face to face. What is the first thing devotees will tell Krishna? They'll say, Krishna, this is how beautiful you are. In that material world, they used to compare you with moon. They were comparing you with lotus. See, in material world, the advertisement, they promise a lot, but the reality is very, very different. It is lower than what is promised. But about Krishna, it is opposite. What is advertised is lesser than what is actual the reality. This is the difference between Krishna and material beauty. Material beauty, the most beautiful person you are attracted to, you will not find that person attractive after some. That is the law of this material world. Beauty fades away. But with Krishna, with time, the beauty increases. So Krishna is opposite of material world. So she is now comparing Krishna with lotus, and she is saying Namo Pankaja. She is saying Namo Pankaja Nabhaya. Generally, she is first seeing Krishna's navel. Now, generally, when we take darshan, how do we take darshan of Krishna in the temple? First, we have to see the lotus feet. But when darshan opens, many times there is something called spontaneity also. Like some devotees spontaneously will see Gaur Nitai or see Gopinath's turban or Radharani. That's okay. But after you have spontaneously taken darshan, then you begin with lotus feet properly also. Both should be there. So we begin with lotus feet, then go up and take darshan. But Kunti Devi is breaking the etiquette. She is saying Namo Pankaja Nabhaya. She is first seeing navel of Krishna. Then she is saying Maline. Then she is glorifying Krishna's lotus garland. Then Namo Pankaja Netraya. Krishna's eyes, she is saying, is beautiful like lotus. And then she's saying, last mein she's saying, Namo Pankajangre, Krishna's feet. So why Kunti Devi is doing ulta? Our acharyas explain that Kunti Devi knew that she is the aunt of Krishna. And if she sees, start offering respects at Krishna's lotus feet, Krishna will feel embarrassed. So she didn't want to embarrass Krishna. So she first glorified his navel. So she began from navel. But then Prabhupada says in the end of the purport that ultimately everything is there in order. in the round, the last line Prabhupada says, in the round, everything there is in order. So however you see Krishna, you take darshan, but glorify Krishna. So this is a very nice way. Krishna is many times glorified as with lotus flowers. You know what we did? We used to have this Gopal deity. We have Chandan Yatra festival where we put Chandan on Gopal. In the month of May, April, May, में हम लोग करते हैं. 1 महीना Chandan है. 21 days. So during that time, one day we had put lotus garland on Gopal. And this was 2014, April end. Beautiful lotus garland we had put. And ये जो verse है ना, Namo Pankajanaభaya, this verse laminated in big font, we had kept in front of Gopalji. And everywhere was lotus garlands, lotus flowers, just for that pleasing darshan. And everybody was enjoying that Sunday darshan and lotus garlands. And this verse was also put. The one politician would come to temple, he was from Congress party. He started shouting at all of us. He said, आप लोग पॉलिटिक्स करते हैं मंदिर हरे कृष्णा में होके, तो पॉलिटिक्स क्या करते हैं? अभी इलेक्शन आने वाला है, आपने लोटस सब जगह लोटस डाला है, और ये क्या डाला है? नमो 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 नमो. So Narendra Modi was called as Namo, right? At that time, now also I think he's called Namo. So they thought they are campaigning for Modi by having Namo everywhere and lotus flower. So we have to convince him, ये भागवतम का श्लोक है, ऐसा नहीं है. So people see the way they want to see. So now Kunti has offered beautiful praise for Krishna. So prayers include all the 4 aspects. So first, we have also discussed about forgiveness. In a sense, she is seeking forgiveness. She's talking about her disqualification, being an ordinary woman, and she's not able to understand Krishna. Then she's praising Krishna. And now she starts thanking Krishna. Gratitude for whatever we have already been given by Krishna. So what all the gifts Kunti has got, she is now going to thank Krishna. Text number 23. Please repeat. Yata Rishikesha Kalena Devaki Kamse Naruddhati Chiram Shuchapita Vimochitaham Chasahatmaja Vibho Tvaye Vanate Namohur Vipargana.
O Rishikesh, master of the senses and lord of lords, you have released your mother, Devaki, who was long imprisoned and distressed by the enemy's king Kamsa, and me and my children from a series of constant dangers.
So there is praise of the Lord and also gratitude here. She is saying how you protected Devaki, how you protected her from Kamsa. And now you are protecting me and my children also. Like that, she is expressing gratitude. Now, generally, when devotees, we thank each other, we say, thank you, Prabhu, for everything. Generally, gratitude we express as a very generic emotion. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you for everything. Even Krishna, we say, thank you, Krishna. But that thank you is very abstract, very vague. Kunti Devi is teaching us in our prayers that gratitude should not be expressed as an abstract, general feeling. Gratitude is not simply a feeling which is expressed in an abstract way. It is a practice for us. And how to practice gratitude, Kunti Devi reveals in the next verse, where she starts recalling all the incidents for which she is grateful to Krishna. It's not that, Krishna, thank you for everything. What everything? 1, 2, bolo. Then we will be able to Actually enter the space of gratitude. Otherwise, simply thank you, Krishna. Usme thank you mein wo dam nahi. Something is important for you. Thank for that. Getting it? So see what Kunti Devi is doing in the next verse. Because she said constant dangers, right? Vipat Ganar in the 23rd verse, she's saying, you have protected us from many dangers. What are these dangers? She now reveals in the next verse. Vishan Mahagne Purushada Darshana Asat Sabhaya Vanavasa Krichrita Mride Mride Neka Maharata Strato Draunastratascha Hare Virakshita.
My dear Krishna, your Lordship has protected us from a poisoned cake, from a great fire, from cannibals, from the vicious assembly, from sufferings during our exile in the forest, and the battle where great generals fought. And now you have saved us from the weapon of Ashwatthama.
So what she has done here, she's not simply said, thank you, Krishna. She's detailing 1, 2, 3. So what you can do is, you can make it a personal prayer. My dear Krishna, the Lordship has protected us. Maybe when you are driving your car from maybe Pune, you are coming and you had a narrow escaped accident. How many of you have had at least one time you feel you had a close shave from an accident? Dekho, sabka kabhi na kabhi aisa hua hai, right? So you can always remember that and say, Krishna, you protected me that time from that incident. There was an accident, you protected me. Just like Kunti is praying, we can pray like that. Unfortunately, what happens to us when we experience close shave in some accident? Like I remember once I was going to Borivali somewhere, auto turned and the BST bus came. We had a close microsecond ka aisa. Otherwise, I would have been pura crushed. And for that 1 second, relief. Thank you, Krishna. And then immediately, business as usual. Picked up my phone, sending WhatsApp message. We are so disconnected from ourselves. So therefore, we need to pause and recall all those incidents. Krishna, when I went 12th standard, I went through this problem, you saved me. Then I had this problem, this happened, that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, you can recall. Like Kunti Devi is recalling poison cake, fear of cannibal. Poison cake ka kya pastime hai? Bhima was fed poison cake. Then cannibals ka kaun sa pastime hai? Bakasur ka pastime. Vicious assembly, Draupadi Vastraharan. And suffering during exile in the forest. When they were in exile, one Duryodhana was sent Durvas Muni to go and take prasad at Pandava's place after Draupadi has finished prasad. So Durvas Muni went to 61 disciples. And Draupadi did not have any prasad, although she had Akshay Patra, but the rule was after Draupadi eats, then the Akshay Patra will not give food. But then what did she do? She remembered Krishna. And then when Krishna appeared, Krishna just took that one particle of grain that was there. And then when he took, everybody was satisfied. And then Durvas Muni said, now we can go. They were in the river taking bath. And Krishna told Bhima, you go and call them. When Bhima went, Durvas Muni saw Bhima is coming, they all ran. So they ran away from there. So Krishna saved them like that. And the battle where great generals fought. If you see in the whole Mahabharata war, the way Krishna protected the Pandavas so many times. Like I remember in one Janmashtami lecture in Borivali in 2007 or 8, I spoke 4 hours only on the 13th day of battle of Mahabharata where Krishna protected Pandavas. One day battle description only is so vast. And how Krishna at every stage of the war was protecting Pandavas. Now she is saying, you have saved us from the weapon of Ashwatthama. So, we may not be able to thank Krishna for everything, but we can thank Krishna in at every moment. Maybe not for that situation, but we can always remember the gifts that Krishna has given. So the first criteria is this, thanking Krishna. Second is thanking Krishna not in a general way, but for some specific gifts we have got. But our mind is so trickster that even that will become mechanical and boring. So I used to have a gratitude journal. So what I do, now I'll just tell you this practice and how the mind tricks us and then how we can also trick the mind again. I'm just sharing my own struggle. So we write, today what are the 3 best things that I did or that happened to me, for which I want to thank Krishna. So you write, like, okay, today I went for a walk, and for 70 minutes I was walking, and I felt fresh. And while walking, I memorized shlokas from the Bhagavad Gita. It was a very satisfying experience. Thank you, Krishna. So like that, you are thanking Krishna for some experience like that. So initially, I was just thanking Krishna. But then that became boring because, thanking Krishna for my parents, thank you, Krishna, for the education, thank you, Krishna, for giving me such very good grandparents, all that becomes mechanical and monotonous. But then I started practicing gratitude. I called it as fresh gratitude. Gratitude for what has happened in the last 24 hours. The last 24 hours, Krishna, I got to dress the deities 2 times. Yesterday morning, I dressed Janardhan. Today, I got Radharani's dressing. Today is the first day of Adhik Maas, and I dressed Radharani. Thank you, Krishna. So, this is like fresh gratitude. Now, today, I could contribute meaningfully in our temple council care meeting. I made 3-4 points which everybody liked. That intelligence you gave me. Thank you, Krishna. I could please devotees, in the festival, I did this seva. Thank you, Krishna. So, this is what 24 hours mein kya hua. इसमें क्या होता है, when you practice fresh gratitude, you're always awake and alert. You're constantly looking for something good to thank Krishna. Generally, we catch wrong things. Our mind is constantly looking to mourn, criticize, complain. But if we practice fresh gratitude every day, you will be forced to be alert to Krishna's blessing in your life. Makes sense? Generally, we live in inadequacy. We generally live in feeling incomplete, feeling guilty. Most devotees live like this. And other devotees also make them feel like that. Are you not read Bhagavatam till now? अरे अभी तक कांदा लहसुन नहीं छोड़ा, अभी भी चाय पीते हैं, तो उसमें ऑलरेडी यू आर फीलिंग इनएडिक्वेट. बाकी डिवोटीज भी ऐसा बोलते हैं, ऐसा लगता है कि मैं कुछ कर ही नहीं रहा हूँ लाइफ. So we need to. So there are two things. One is gain and one is gap. Devotees generally live in gap. Oh, Krishna is here. I am so far away. I have not done anything. Most devotees live in gap, and that's why they are not happy. Bhakti mein, we should practice gain consciousness. Gain means what did I gain in the last 24 hours? Krishna gave me these 3 gifts, these 4 gifts. Thank you, Krishna. Gain. Ye mujhe mila. So when you are in gain consciousness, I gained this, I got this, then you are inspired to do more bhakti. If you only look at the gap, oh, Krishna is so far away, then what happens, You feel hopeless. I'll tell you something very shocking. Before coming to Krishna consciousness, you may be at this level of your whatever value systems or whatever your ideology, ideals. And then when you come to Krishna consciousness, you hear Krishna is here, top. So I want to practice bhakti and go to Krishna. But you keep saying Krishna is so far and you feel he's unattainable and you feel so hopeless. But ultimately, we all want to feel some sense of pleasure, some sense of happiness, some sense of adequacy. है ना? अच्छा तो लगना, हमको सबको अच्छा लगने की इच्छा होता है कि अरे यार कुछ तो I want to feel good. But because Krishna is so far and unattainable, that's what we keep hearing. Then we have come to Krishna consciousness at this level of whatever principles, values. Because you're not getting Krishna, we feel so hopeless. And for getting some rasa, some pleasure, then we compromise. And we start seeking that in material activities. And many devotees sometimes compromise and betray their own values. And they wonder after some time, if I had not come to KC, maybe I would not have done this. Ye kya ho gaya? How did they end up doing this? They ended up doing that wrong things because they kept thinking, I'm bad, I'm not good. So if you're not good, if you're bad, what do bad people do? Bad things. If you keep saying, I'm not good, I'm bad, I'm not good, then subconsciously your mind will make you do what is not good. So therefore you need to also feel gain. I'm good. I did this today. Krishna gave me this blessing today. You must say, but Prabhuji, if I only keep counting my blessings and gain, then I'll become complacent. I will not progress. I will not try to meet the gap. Therefore, we need balance of both. We begin the day. So as soon as you get up in the night before sleeping, be in the gain conscious. Aaj ye 5 cheez mujhe mila. Thank you, Krishna. So you sleep with the feeling that you came closer to Krishna. Gain. Morning, you see the gaps. आज ये 5 चीज करना है, आज एक्स्ट्रा माला करना है, आज मंदिर जाना है, So try to fill the gaps in the morning. Panches. So gaps also we need to work on the gaps. Otherwise we will not make progress. But Krishna is very far. You can't think that I'll do these 4 things today and I'll get Krishna. Therefore, we also need to meditate on gains. Krishna is like that Himalayan, when we went to Badrinath, I remember our guide was telling us, idhar hi hai. I thought idhar hi hai mountain. The Badrinath mein na, Himalayas ka Vasudhara Falls, idhar hi hai. After 4 hours, we were still it was far. Krishna ऐसा लगता है कि अरे इधर ही है Krishna. नहीं, वो Krishna loves to play hide and seek. So therefore, so you may get discouraged in the process. Therefore, we need to also meditate on gain. आपको लाइफ में कितना gain मिल रहा है, आप देख रहे हो कि नहीं? आप आंखें खोलो. Just see around. And if you're not trained in gain consciousness, you will never be happy. Many of us are trained, hardwired to see gaps. One Prabhuji was saying he got Govinda's from pizza from Govinda and went home to give surprise to his daughter and wife. And his older daughter, as soon as she saw the pizza, and he said, surprise, and he opened the pizza. And the older daughter said, Papa, but this is not my favorite pizza. So he told me that she was in the gap. Whereas the younger daughter, she was happy at the success. Actually, it was a gain. What is the gain in this entire episode? The gain was a surprise. Surprise always gives happiness to everyone. People love to be surprised in a relationship. So that was a gain. But because this girl was always in the gap consciousness, even though she got a gain, she saw like it's not my favorite pizza. So what I'm trying to say is in life, you ask yourself, how many blessings you are getting every day? But because you are trained to be in gap, you are not able to see that gain. You see the gap also, but don't whole day keep looking at the gap. Is that okay? So gratitude practice, first of all, general gratitude, then specific gratitude, then fresh gratitude for what has happened in the last 24 hours. Now, for me, even that fresh gratitude became boring after some time. Because I was doing the same activities every day. Like I was going for a walk every day, or I was reading Bhagavatam every day. So I was not able to find, things can become mechanical. So then I discovered something even very, very special, and that is nourishing me a lot. It is called why gratitude. WHY. Why? So I write one line. Thank you, Krishna, for what? What is the best gift I got? Today I got a chance to do Srimati Radharani's dressing. Now, generally, we stop here. But right column, left column is what I am grateful for. Then answer the question why. Why are you grateful for this? Why are you grateful that you got a chance to do dressing of the deities too? What happens now? You are forced to think. You are forced to add emotion. You are forced to go deeper on why this is important for you. You become introspective. You become contemplative. So when your pen may be stuck for a few seconds. But when you write what is truly the reason for that gratitude. So this is very powerful. And then after a few days, you just take that file and you read it. Maybe on your phone you are typing. Just reading it will make you wow. Because you will be surprised. I thank Krishna for this. That is okay. But the reason why I found this to be an object of gratitude, you will be surprised reading what you wrote. Because you will thank Krishna for the same thing different days, but your reason will be different. You'll be one day you'll say, Krishna was so disturbed and tired, but I got this, so I could go for a walk and I'm very happy. Thank you, Krishna. I needed this to feel fresh. Another day it could be something else. Because the whole idea is not right or wrong. The whole idea is why. When you ask the question why and when you answer it, you are going deeper with your emotions. So like that, the devotees can practice gratitude nicely and you can experience the joy of Krishna consciousness. And in that gratitude, you will feel blissful. Kuch magic nahi hai. That gratitude is not some abstract feeling. I thank you, Prabhu. No, gratitude is a practice. practice. It is a practice, just like chanting is a practice, no? 16 rounds you chant. Gratitude is also a practice. Krishna, thank you for this because and this is very important for me because whatever, fill in the blank. That is up to you. You have to answer why. Even if you thank Krishna for one thing that day, it will be so much meaning. Thank you, Krishna, for giving me a beautiful family. Why it is important? Why is it you are feeling so thankful? Why is this family important to you? Because Krishna, because of their support, I am able to practice bhakti. Because they understand me or whatever. So then you are entering, you are adding emotions there. And prayers, chanting, everything becomes meaningful in Bhakti Yoga process only when emotions are added. Without emotions touching any of your activities, it remains ritual. Only when emotions are added, it becomes spiritual. Because human beings, our sadhana bhakti essence is to remember Krishna. Ultimately, if you don't remember Krishna, then all bhakti is waste. It is called Shama Evai Kevalam. It is simply useless labor, Bhagavatam says. If you are not remembering Krishna with affection, then you are not practicing Bhakti Yoga. You are simply doing ritual activity. You've seen that robot in Tirupati. I saw in Tirupati somewhere one robot is doing Aarti. So even a robot can do Aarti. So you are also doing Aarti. But why you will get benefit? Because you are offering your emotions to Krishna. And emotions we are not able to offer because we are packed with the gap consciousness, always looking at what I have not got in life or what I am not doing good. Once we start thanking Krishna, you are entering the space of abundance emotions. See, why Krishna consciousness is very difficult for many people is because it requires sattva guna. Getting up early in the morning, chanting, eating vegetarian offered food to Krishna without kanda lasun, not drinking tea, coffee, not eating. Basically, if you see our lifestyle, dress, everything is sattva guna. And sattva guna is peace. And sattva guna is not attractive for people because sattva guna there is no pronounced emotions. Rajoguna and tamoguna is very attractive because in tamoguna there is lamentation, hankering. In rajoguna there is passion. So there are more pronounced emotions in rajoguna and tamoguna. In sattva-guna, there is peace. There is no emotions in sattva-guna. You are like peaceful. हाँ सब अच्छा चल रहा है. रजोगुण में क्या बहुत ड्रामा है. तमोगुण में बहुत crying, lamentation. Oh, people are attached to tamoguna and rajoguna. And bhakti में advancement can happen only when you are in sattva-guna. So sattva-guna में emotions नहीं. So what to do then? That means we have to add emotions in Sattva Guna, which will make it appealing and attractive for us to be in Sattva Guna. And how can emotions come in Sattva Guna? By gratitude. Gratitude is the best way to make Sattva Guna emotional, full of emotions. Does it make sense? It's a logic. So therefore, gratitude is extremely powerful. It is not simply a theory or a feeling. Thank you, bro. Somebody gives you a cup of water when you are thirsty, we say thank you. That is where our gentlemanly behavior ends. Thank you. But we're getting sunrise, we're getting rains. How much we're dependent on Krishna? So rain, sunlight, the health, the body. So if you start being conscious in a 24-hour period, what am I thankful to Krishna for? And once you find that every day you are doing and you are feeling usme maja nahi aa raha, then you start answering why. You may thank Krishna for less things, but that will open up your life. It will give you so much joy. So this is the practice of gratitude. Kunti Devi is teaching us gratitude in these prayers. Thank Krishna for the gifts. And the best way to connect with Krishna through gratitude. See, so there are 4 elements of prayer. What is the first? Praise, thank you, forgiveness, seeking forgiveness, and then request. So what does Kunti Devi request Krishna? The next prayer reveals. Text 25. विपदा संतुता शश्वत् तत्र तत्र जगद्गुरु भवतो दर्शनं यत् स्यात् अपुनर्भव दर्शनम्.
I wish that all those calamities would happen again and again, so that we could see you again and again, or seeing you meet, that we will no longer see repeated births and deaths.
How do you like this prayer? Many of us brahmacharis, when we memorize prayer, we don't memorize this verse. क्योंकि क्या याद करते करते अगर विपदा संतुता शाश्वत विपदा संतुता, if you प्रैक्टिस कर रहे हैं ना याद करते करते, अगर ऊपर से भगवान ने सुन लिया और तथास्तु बोल दिया तुम याद कर रहा है बस, you are not asking for vipada, but you are just memorizing the verse. But what if Krishna says, so be it? फंस गए ना फिर. You don't want to pray. Nobody wants to pray like this. See, Bhagavatam is giving us the gold standard. That doesn't mean we should imitate and we should pray like this. Please don't pray for calamities. But there are devotees like this. So what she is experiencing, that she is asking for Krishna. See, Bhagavatam, whenever you see anything which doesn't make logical sense to you, people go to two extreme. One is fanatic. नहीं लिखा है ना सही है, ऐसा होना चाहिए. कृष्णा की भी प्योर डिवोशन, अभी वो लेवल पे नहीं है, बट भागवत में लिखा है ना, तो ऐसे ही प्रे करेंगे. That is fanatic approach. And the other extreme is, यार ये कुछ भी लिखा है ऐसा थोड़ी होता है, थोड़ा फेंक रहे लोग devotees को. That means cynicism. One extreme is fanatic belief. It is only belief. There is no real acceptance in the heart. It's a fanatic mind, sacking your mind. The other extreme is rejection, blind rejection and blind acceptance. This is where we live. The ideal way to approach such shlokas is curiosity. ऐसा कैसे लिखा है? तो what is she feeling that she is saying like this? क्या है उसके अंदर? I want to know. Curiosity, jigyasa. What is that? What is she getting from Krishna? She's gone through so much suffering from childhood. I mean, she was a young girl when she became a mother. And she has to see off her son Karna. मतलब क्या devastating pain होगा. उसके लाइफ में केवल दुख ही रहा है. And she's saying, let me get those miseries again. So you have to become curious. ऐसे क्यों लिखा? What is there in misery that she is asking? You are getting it? There's a difference between curiosity mindset and a fanatic mindset. So when you are curious, what you will do? You will go to devotees. Prabhuji, ऐसा क्या लिखा है? मतलब what is she feeling in her heart? Like I was hearing a lecture of Prabhupada recently. Srila Prabhupada is saying, so you can chant any song, you will get bored. But Hare Krishna, we can chant 24 hours and we'll never get tired. And I was listening, I thought, really? I had two choices. नहीं Prabhupada बोल रहे ना सही है. और second option was कि पर ज़्यादा ही है, मतलब नहीं हो सकता. Both are wrong. You know what I did? I started practicing this curiosity mind. How can Prabhupada say 24 hours devotees can chant and they don't feel tired? ऐसा हो सकता है क्या? कैसे हो सकता है? Started thinking, meditating and praying to Krishna. How can this happen? And then I met another brahmacharya. But अरे Prabhupada lecture में आज Prabhupada ने ऐसा बोला 24 hours तुम कर सकता है क्या हमारा 24 hours? मैं नहीं कर सकता. पर Prabhupada ने ऐसे क्यों लिखा? क्या होगा? What is he experiencing? And then as we were discussing, you know what happened? I got an answer which convinced me that Prabhupada is right. Now nobody can convince me otherwise. Because of discussion, I remember we had one brahmachari picnic retreat. We had 4 days retreat in GEV last month. I missed the class also because of that. So in that 4 days yatra, very simple schedule we had. Morning 3 o'clock we have to start chanting japa till afternoon 3 o'clock. Simple. मतलब कुछ करना नहीं है. 12 घंटा जपा करना. So then we were discussing, अरे वो 12 घंटे जब कैसे किया हमने? संग में हो गया, आराम से हो गया. बैठे माला कर रहे हैं, तुलसी रखा है, सब अलग अलग सर्कल्स में बैठे हैं, बीच में प्रसाद का एक ब्रेक मिलता था. तो अगर हम लोग इतने नालायक है फिर भी 12 घंटा जप कर सकते हैं, तो प्रभुपाद 24 घंटा नहीं कर सकते। मतलब ये सही लिखा है, प्रभुपाद ने सही बोला है कि there are devotees who can chant 24 hours. We may not be at that level. Because of this curiosity mindset and open mind, we could accept scriptural statements. And it got, I may not be able to chant right now 24 hours, but possible है. और आनंद महाप्रभु के ग्रुप में there are devotees who chant 192 rounds on Haridas Thakur Disappearance Day, and this time there are 200 devotees who chanted. And every year they chant for that Haridas Thakur Disappearance Day. And Pandanurjal Ekadashi, every year they chant 128 rounds. Every Ekadashi they chant 64 rounds. So if there are so many devotees who are chanting like that, that means what Prabhupada is saying is right. Why this conclusion we came to? Because of curiosity. So when you are seeing Kunti saying, oh, I wish those calamities can happen again and again. अरे यार कोई ऐसा प्रे कर सकता है क्या? कि क्यों ऐसा कर रही है? क्या क्या उसको मिल रहा है? What is she getting? सोचो थोड़ा इसके ऊपर. That means कुछ तो अच्छा मिल रहा होगा ना, तभी ये she is preferring this. मतलब कृष्णा में कुछ तो है. Have this curiosity, eagerness to know. See, this is what will help you become a pure devotee. You know this Gautam Buddha, he became Buddha. Why? Who was he before he became Gautam Buddha? Prince Siddhartha. He was destined to be a great king or a great saint. So his parents prevented him from getting exposure to the real world. And one day he went out to this minister and he saw old man, disease, death. Curiosity, क्या है? Death क्या है? Disease क्या है? Asking questions with an open mind. That's why, so we all need to have a Prince Siddhartha moment. हमारे लाइफ में सिद्धार्था moment है क्या? Are we asking questions and seeking answers? Prabhupada के books में सब questions भी answers भी है. If we don't ask questions, all these answers that Prabhupada is giving in his books will not make any sense. सब आंसर सब है, बट क्वेश्चंस आपको पूछना पड़ेगा, नहीं तो दिस विल नॉट मेक एनी सेंस टू यू. पूरा आंसर आपके बुक में, पूरा बुक आंसर का बुक दिया है आपको, और एग्जाम में आप कुछ समझ में नहीं आएगा क्वेश्चन का आंसर किधर है. यू नॉट नो बिकॉज़ यू नॉट आस्क्ड दिस क्वेश्चन. कभी क्वेश्चन देखा ही नहीं आपने क्या है. यू टू आस्क दिस क्वेश्चन, के आमी केने आमार जारा तापत्र सनातन गोस्वामी दास चैतन्य महाप्रभु, हु एम आई? Why am I suffering? What is life? What is death? When Abdul Kalam, he was very famous for all this. He used to go to different schools and give lectures. When he was the president of India, I think he went to more than 5,000 different schools and colleges, and everywhere he used to give brilliant answers to the questions. So there is a book I read of Abdul Kalam long time ago. It's called Ignited Minds. I don't know if you've seen the famous book of President Abdul Kalam. There he writes that one child asked him a question in one assembly. Who is the world's first scientist? Abdul Kalam is a scientist. So he gave an answer for which he got a thunderous applause. You know what he said? He said the world's first scientist is a child. Because child is always curious. Child is always asking questions, wanting to know. Then he told the audience, don't kill that child within you. Keep seeking. Because children, they have a possibility mindset, curiosity mindset. समझना है, जानना है. He was giving an example that in one school, one child asked him, Brahmaputra mein there is so much water. Assam. It's always flooded. And in Tamil Nadu and Rajasthan, there is no water. Why don't you supply that water here? Okay, all problems solved. So Abdul Kalam said, and that question I was asked, I was speechless. I didn't know how to answer because I was thinking, how do I tell the child that it is not possible because a river is a state issue and center cannot interfere in state matters, and there will be a lot of negotiation involved. तो बच्चों को कैसे समझाने का? क्योंकि बच्चों को मालूम है कि simple है, possibility, possible है. What happens to us as we grow up now? We see so much suffering and so much failures, so much roadblocks in our life. And we feel all the time inadequate, that we start saying, अरे possible, छोड़ो, ये भी ऐसे ही लिखा है, सब कुछ, मतलब we become cynical, hopeless. Ask yourself how you were when you were a child. That child has to be awakened now to understand Bhagavad. Only then this will make sense. So what is Kunti? How can Kunti say this that I wish I get more and more calamities? Again, I'm repeating, we are not praying like that. But we have to become curious to know how can she pray like that? She's praying like that because in remembrance of Krishna, there is some unexplainable happiness which makes all the suffering of this world worth it. It may be only theory for you right now. It may be theory for me right now, but this verse proves that. ये ऐसा है, कुछ तो है कृष्णा में कि सब सफरिंग परोड़े है ना. That is, and I tell you, you ask any senior those devotees who have spent lot of years in Krishna consciousness, आपके लाइफ में इतना सफरिंग हुआ है, प्रॉब्लम्स हुआ है. I tell you, whatever devotees I have spoken to, they say इतना सा problems हुआ, whatever. Nobody says, I wish that didn't happen to me. I have not seen any devotee say that. They say हो गया, जो हुआ उस समय, जो मुझे purification हुआ, how I came closer to Krishna because of that, it was worth it. This is the proof that Krishna is a person and Krishna is wonderful person. And Krishna fills your heart with love. You won't find it in the material world. Most people in the world, when they see in Krishna consciousness, most of the happiness is in retrospect. Retrospect means when you look back and then you say, wow, this happened with me. This was Krishna's amazing arrangement. Thank you, Krishna. This is the inconceivable beauty of Krishna consciousness. And the fact that there are devotees who can pray like this means they are experiencing some bliss in remembrance of Krishna. There is no other logical explanation. Otherwise, how can somebody ask for suffering? How can somebody say, or be calamities, let calamities come again and again? So this is the beauty of Krishna consciousness, and therefore Kunti Devi is able to pray like this. So the journey, see, we should not imitate this prayer, but we can start praising Krishna. We can begin there, and then that will experience joy. And when Krishna will anyway give you suffering, calamities, even if you say, I don't want, जो है वो आएगा ही. जो भाग्य में है वो भाग कर आए, जो नहीं है वो आकर भी भाग जाए. वो तो है ही, वो तो आना ही है. But if we started practicing praising the Lord, so now you see, every day we are going to praise the Lord. We are going to sing Chorashtaka. Vraje prasiddham navanita choram Gopangananam chadukula choram Aneka janmarjita papa choram Chaura graganyam purusham namami. This is amazing bhajan we sing. There are 8 verses glorifying the greatest thief. In this whole bhajan, in the 8 stanzas, till the very end, the poet, Bilamangal Thakur, doesn't reveal who the thief is. He simply says, I want to glorify chore number 1. Chauragra Ganyam. ऐसा कोई मूवी है क्या नहीं? Chore number 1. अगर ऐसा मूवी बनेगा तो Krishna is the hero of that movie. He is saying, this is a great chore. Look at the way he sees that. How do we glorify Krishna? If you have to glorify somebody, you will glorify them for what they have done. You will never glorify somebody for stealing. But Krishna is so amazing that Krishna is glorified for his stealing activity. We are standing in front of the Supreme Lord, who is in Aishwarya mood also, but we are saying, Krishna, you are the greatest thief. Like imagine there is annual general body meeting, stockholders meeting, and Mukesh Ambani comes, Reliance Capital, and he's being introduced. He's such a good man. When he was a child, he used to steal a lot of pens in the class. Can any big person be glorified for being a thief when he was a child? Only Krishna can be glorified. And he's saying, and in the verse says, Vraje prasiddham navanita choram. He's a very popular thief who is famous for navanita choram, for stealing butter. Vraje prasiddham navanita choram. And what does he do? Gopangananam chadukula choram. He steals away the distress of all the Gopas of Vrindavan. And not only that, Aneka janmarjita papa choram. अनेक जन्मों का जो पाप कर्म है वो भी चोरी कर लेते हैं. Therefore, I offer my respectful obeisances to Chauragraganyam Purusham Namami. I offer my respectful obeisances to chore number one. Krishna is known as Hari. Hari means one who takes away. What does it take away? All inauspicious things. What is not good for you, Krishna steals away. And the verses are amazing. Shri Radhikaya Hridayasya Choram Navam Buddha Shamalakanta Choram Padashritanam cha samasta choram Chora Graganyam Purusham Namami. He steals Shri Radhika's heart. Shri Radhikaya Hridayasya Choram. And you know what else he steals? Navam Buddha Shamalakanta Choram. He steals the complexion of the fresh monsoon cloud. Actually, the Bhagavatam says Krishna and the cloud are best friends. The monsoon cloud and Krishna are best friends. You know why? This color, there's one more reason why both are best friends. Because it is a hot summer season, and when suddenly the monsoon cloud starts coming in the sky, everybody becomes relieved and happy. Similarly, we are also suffering in the heat of material existence. Tapatraya. Lot of anxiety, suffering chal raha hai hamare life. And as soon as Krishna comes, just like cloud comes, we become relieved. Navam Buddha Shamalakanta Choram. And then what does he do? Padashritanam cha samasta choram. And one who takes shelter of his lotus feet, he steals everything from them. Chora Graganyam Purusham Namami. So then he elaborates on this. What do you mean? If you take shelter of Krishna's lotus feet, Krishna steals. What does he steal? Akinchani kritya padashritam ya karoti bhikshum patigehahinam kenapaho bhishana choraidra drishta shrutova na jagatraiti. What a beautiful verse. He says, one who takes shelter of Krishna's lotus feet. What does Krishna do? Akinchani. He makes him Akinchan. मतलब करोति भिक्षुम भिखारी बना देंगे उसको भगवान. करोति भिक्षुम पतिगेहहीनम. घर, रिलेटिव्स सब चला जाएगा उसके लाइफ से. Then बुल्ला मंगल ठाकुर says, केनापहो भीषण चोर इद्र. ऐसा भीषण चोर मैंने कहीं नहीं देखा है. केनापहो भीषण चोर इद्र दृष्ट श्रुतोवा न जगत्रे. मैंने देखा नहीं, मैंने सुना नहीं, ऐसा चोर मैंने कहीं देखा नहीं, कहीं सुना नहीं पूरे वर्ल्ड में. आप बोलोगे ऐसा इतना बड़ा चोर है, ऐसा भयंकर काम करता है. तो चोर को अभी इतना अगर मालूम पड़ा कि चोरी करके कोई जा रहा है एंड यू वांट टू नो हु दैट चोर इज. मेरे जीवन में आ गया तो वो चोर कैसे आएगा, मेरा क्या लेके जाएगा, वो चोर कौन है? आई वांट टू सी दैट चोर. उसका आइडेंटिटी बताओ. सो द नेक्स्ट वर्स ही रिवील्स आइडेंटिटी. यदि नामा हरति शेषम गिरि प्रसारान अतिपापराशिन आश्चर्य रूपो ननु चोरईद्र दृष्ट श्रुतो वा न मया कदापि. He says, because you are wondering, na, the thief comes in what dress? Sometimes earlier the thief used to wear black dress, you know this. ऐसा एक मास्क रहेगा, पूरा ऐसा चोरी का पूरा एक टिपिकल स्टीरियोटाइप रहता था. Nowadays thieves don't come in black dress with mask and all that. Nowadays they come as young teenagers with tie and they hack your password and take all the money. है ना? आजकल चोरी का. Similarly, Maya has also changed. Earlier Maya meant, you know, 4 regulative principles, illicit sex, meeting, gross stuff. Now Maya can come through your smartphone. Maya can come through so many ways. So Kali Yuga is powerful. So similarly, Krishna, here Krishna is not mentioned. This thief is so powerful. How does he, what dress he wears? Yadiya Nama, he comes in the Nam root. Harinam. So he comes in the form of holy name. Yadiya Nama Bharatiya Shesham. आपका सारा जो गंदगी है सब वो चोरी कर लेते. तो कितना चोरी करेंगे वो? गिरी प्रसारान अति पाप राशिन. आपका जो पाप राशि है ना, वो एक पर्वत के समान है. गिरी प्रसारान अति पाप राशिन. एंड देन ही सेज आश्चर्य रूपो ननु चोरईद्र. कितना आश्चर्य का रूप लिया है, धारण किया है इस चोर. दृष्ट श्रुतो वा न मया कदापि, मैंने कहीं ऐसा चोर नहीं देखा, कहीं ऐसा नहीं देखा। आफ्टर हियरिंग ऑल ऑफ दिस यू विल से, अच्छा अभी इतना बड़ा चोर है तो फिर उसको पकड़ना पड़ेगा, तो चोर को पकड़ना चाहिए ना। तो लुक एट द वेरी पोएटिकली इज बिल्डिंग इट अप स्लोली स्लोली, एंड फाइनली सेज अच्छा ये चोर को पकड़ नहीं सकते। फर्स्ट इज सेज व्हाट डज दिस चोर डू, धनम च मानम च ततेन्द्रियाणि प्राणम शरुत्वा मम सर्वमेव पलायसे कुत्र धृतोद्य चोरा त्वं भक्ति धाम्ना मया निरुद्धा। Very very important verse. He says this thief, what dress he wears, what dress he comes, he doesn't come in pitambari. I just described in the previous verse, he comes in the dress of the holy name. आप लोग जगह हो ना, comes in the form of holy name. And what has he done with this poet? भगवान मंगल ठाकुर के पास क्या किया, धनम च मानम च ततेन्द्रियाणि, मेरा धन ले लिया, मेरा मान ले लिया, मेरा सब इंद्रियों का एबिलिटी टू एंजॉय सब ले लिया। प्राणम शरत्वा मम सर्वमेव, मेरे पास जो भी है सब कुछ छीन लिया, अब मैं छोड़ूंगा नहीं इस चोर को। पलाय से कुत्र द्रुतोद्य चोरा, पलायन करके कहां भाग रहे, वेयर आर यू रनिंग अवे माय डियर थीफ, आई एम गोइंग टू स्टॉप यू। हाउ, आई एम गोइंग टू स्टॉप यू विद द रोप। त्वं भक्ति दाम्ना मया निरुद्धा, निरुद्धा मतलब मैं रोक लूंगा आपको। हाउ, भक्ति धामना सी, द रोप ऑफ भक्ति, द रोप ऑफ डिवोशन आई विल थ्रो एंड आई विल स्टॉप यू। You will say, when you're hearing all this, you will say, अच्छा ये रोप, अब इतना बड़ा चोर है, बड़ा उड़ा उठा के फेंक रहे हैं, इतना बड़ा चोर है, एक रस्सी को, रस्सी से आप पकड़ सकते हैं, रस्सी में क्या है, भक्ति की रस्सी, और इतना सब कुछ फेंक सकते हो तो भक्ति की रस्सी को भी नहीं तोड़ सकते हो। Then in the next verse he reveals something very powerful. How does that verse begin? Chinatsi ghoram yamapasha bandham भिनत्सि भीमं भवपाश बंधम चिनत्सि सर्वस्व समस्त बंधम नैवात्मना भक्त कृतं तु बंधम। See, this chore is so powerful that he can चिनत्सि घोरम यमपाश बंधम, अगर यमराज का रस्सी डाला उसके ऊपर, यमराज का पाश डाला, उसको easily will throw it away, he can easily break it। चिनत्सि घोरम यमपाश बंधम विनत्सि भीमम भवपाश बंधम, जो भवसागर है ना, बर्थ डेथ का जो रस्सी, वो भी डालेंगे तो वो भी आराम से उठा के फेंक देगा एक चोर। चिनत्सि सर्वस्व समस्त बंधम, all kinds of entanglements, all these ropes this thief can easily break, but one rope which he cannot break, naivatmana bhakta kritam tu bandham, that rope which a devotee throws on him and binds him, that rope Krishna, this thief cannot release himself, because we are trying to catch the thief in the month of Adhik Mas, and we are catching the thief with the rope of devotion. And in case you have a doubt, will this rope help? He is saying yes, the ropes don't help, because this powerful thief can break Yamaraja's rope, Bhavsagar's rope, all entanglement rope, but bhakti ka rope aisa hai ki wo we cannot break. You'll say, okay, now I'll catch the thief with this rope of bhakti. And then what do you do with the thief once you catch him? You put him in a jail. जाके जेल में ले जाते हैं. So the next verse, how does it begin? मन्मानसेता मसराशि घोरे काराग्रे दुःख मये निबद्ध लभस्व हे चोर हरे चिराया स्वचौर्य दोषो चितमेव दंडम. This is the most beautiful poetic verse. He says, how does it begin? I am going to put you in the prison. Which prison? मनमानसेता मसराशि घोरे. ऐसे प्रिजन में डालने वाला जहाँ पे बहुत तमोगुण है, बहुत अंधकार है, बहुत डार्कनेस है. मनमानसेता मसराशि घोरे काराग्रहे दुःख. ये कारागृह में केवल दुख है. मैं निबद्ध, क्योंकि मैंने चोर को पकड़ा है, मैं उसको वो जेल में डालूंगा. क्यों? लभस्व ये चोर हरे चिराया. बहुत बहुत जन्मों के बाद ये चोर को मैंने पकड़ा है. I've caught this thief after many, many lifetimes. लबस्वे चोर हरे चिराया, अभी क्या करूंगा, ये जेल में डालूंगा, इज माय हार्ट, एंड देन स्वचौर्य दोषोचितम एव दंडम, उचित दंडम दूंगा. I will give him appropriate punishment. And what is that punishment? Like, what is the punishment given to a murderer in this material world? 14 years of life imprisonment. He says, I will give the punishment to this thief. Karagrahe vasasada hridaye madiye mad bhakti pasha dृढ़ बंधन निश्चलोसन Vam Krishna he pralaya koti shatantarepi sarvasva chora hridaya nahi mochaya. Last verse, he finally reveals the name of the thief. What is the name of the thief? Krishna. He says, the punishment I will give is Karagrahe Vasas Sada. Always, eternally life imprisonment for this thief in the heart. Hridaye Madi. In my heart, I'll keep this thief. Karagrahe Vasas Sada Hridaye Madi. Mad Bhakti Pasha Dृढ़ बंधन निश्चलोसन. बड़े मेरा जो भक्ति का जो रोप है उसको मैं बड़ी दृढ़ता से टाइट बांध कर रखूंगा इस चोर को, जाने नहीं दूंगा. Tvam Krishna he pralaya koti, till the end of dissolution, crores and crores of years I'll keep you bound in my heart. Sarvasva choran hridaya nahi moche. Now I don't want anything else, I just want you. The thief who has stolen everything from me. So this is a classic way of praising Krishna. See, we may not be able to praise Krishna like this, but just by repeating these verses and adding your own emotions. You understand? You add your own emotions in these prayers, and then that prayer becomes yours. Like I remember once in Radha Vallabh temple in Vrindavan, I was sitting, there was nobody. I just started chanting this, these prayers which I chant. Now I don't chant so much, but during worship, deity worship, I chant. This Govinda Damodara Madhaveti prayers. So I was chanting. Agre Kuruna Mata Pandavana Vishwasanena Rtavastra Kesha Krishna Tada Kroshadananyanata Govinda Damodara Madhaveti. There are 72 verses like this. So in this verse, Bilamangal Thakur is saying that in the Kuru assembly, Draupadi was being disrobed and she chanted Govinda, Damodara, Madhaveti. Dushasana was pulling her hair. So like that, there are many verses ending with Govinda, but it is in Sanskrit. So when I'm chanting, if somebody doesn't know Sanskrit, he may like the melody and he may understand the last three words, Govinda, Damo, but you want to know the meaning also. So what we have to do is we have to read the translation, and in the mind we can know the translation, and verbally you can chant this mantra. So I was chanting all these mantras, all these verses from that Govinda, Damodara, Madhaveti. So I was chanting that my friend Abhishek was there with me, and we were just chanting. Next space, Radha Vallabh temple, ancient temple. Suddenly one Mataji, Brajvasi lady, she just came and sat next to me. And she looked at me and she chanted the same Sanskrit verses in Hindi. She said, she looked at me, then she looked at Radha Vallabh and she chanted so many verses. One verse I remembered. Everything else I forgot. I couldn't remember. I was like stunned. Ek hi yaad raha mere mind mein. He said, Prananta kale tum samne ho, man ko lubhate. Prananta kale tum samne ho, man ko lubhate. No. Something I don't remember. Prananta kale tum samne. So she sang in Hindi. I don't remember now. I'm just forgetting because I've chanted so many Sanskrit verses. Oh yeah, yaad hi nahi aata. When I remember, I'll tell you. So I chant that during prayers. So what she did, she chanted the same verses but in Hindi. So we may not be able to do, we may not be poetic composers. But what I'm trying to say is, we can add our emotions and make all these prayers personal. And then if this culture of prayers and eventually in life treats us harshly, this will save us. And we'll keep going on. I'll stop here. We enter up to 9 o'clock. So we have covered how many verses today? 5. Yeah, we covered up to 25 tak ho gaya, na? So we'll take up next time 26 onwards. Okay? Yantra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
I remember the verse. प्राणांतकाले तुम सामने हो, प्राणांतकाले तुम सामने हो, मन को लुभाते भूलू न तुमको गाऊं मैं हरदम गोविंद. So like that, you know, she chanted almost 20 verses. She chanted. So like that, I wish I had some recording. I was just stunned. ऐसा वृंदावन में कितने लोग होंगे जो ऐसा रसिक एकदम. So you go to Vrindavan, now you'll see some old lady and some old man sitting in some broken temple. ऐसा कोई nobody is there and they are chanting. कोई blind devotee है, कोई बैठे पूरा रात भर चिल्ला चिल्ला के गा रहे हैं. No Facebook followers, nobody clicking selfies. कृष्ण के आनंद के लिए गा रहे हैं. So Vrindavan is very special. So anyway, this Adhik Maas, many devotees are chanting, remembering Krishna, going to Vrindavan. So you can do your own way. You can try to connect with Krishna this way.